What's going on, folks? Ted from Nerd Immersion here, and it is Prime Big Deal Days, aka Prime Day 2.0. This is the one that happens every year and around the fall time frame, usually in early October. And as I like to do, I'm going to list out a bunch of products that I saw for TTRPGs and D&D folks out there that are on sale on Prime Day. Some of these under $10, and they could make obviously great gifts for yourself if you feel like treating yourself, for your DM in case you need to butter them up so maybe that combat goes a little smoother, or save these for special occasions, build them up now for the holiday and hang on to them, whatever the case may be. So we have a variety of different things, everything from dice to books to things to help you out at the table. So let's go ahead and dive in. I will also have Amazon affiliate links down in the video description for all of the things that you see here. And if you go ahead and pick up from that, I actually do benefit monetarily from that. So if you're kind enough to use those links. All right. So first up here, we have a QMA mystery dice box. So this is a set of 7 dice. And it's mystery, right? It's $8 for a set of 7 dice. You can see a variety of different color options, everything from marbled with sparkles to these sort of more stylized designs up here. Again, you're going to be getting one of these surprise boxes for $8.99. Honestly, a set of 7 dice for $8.99 is a pretty good deal anyway. And, it looks like they may come in this mystery box set as well. So that could be a fun little thing for the table. Something I've never done, but I've thought about doing is buying a mystery set of dice and then building a character around the dice set. Usually you do it the other way around. You build your character and then you take the dice and kind of match them to them. But I think it'd be interesting to do it the other way around. Speaking of mystery dice packs, this is the same folks from QMA. We have a bigger set of these. This is like one of these kind of rip top bags that you see here that comes with 6 mystery bags. So inside, you're going to have bags like this, random mystery dice bag. Which one will you get? So surprise mystery dice bag has over 100 dice styles. And it says these are as large as possible and easy to read. Each bag contains a full set of D4, D6, D8, D10 percentile, D12, D20, plus 1 random dice bag. And this is a pack of 6, I believe. Yeah, 48 pieces for $28. So if you want something a little bit different, and it comes with a dice bag. Last but not least, oh, no, I'm sorry. I thought we had another mystery bag. We might somewhere in here, but we have these from Roy Savon. These are $23. This is a set of liquid core dice. Now, these ones happen to have a picture of a cat on them, but there are other ones out here. I think these just all cats. Yeah, but either way, depending on if you want the cat-based dice or you're a cat person, but liquid core dice are kind of all the rage at the moment anyway, which is, again, if you have not seen them, I think there is a video here. If we were to go and look, they'll showcase it here. But you can see that there is liquid inside the dice. So when you roll it, it kind of moves around in there. They basically harden like a sphere in the middle of the dice to kind of make these. They have it in orange, which is pretty cool. Obviously, the cat design may be a little off-putting to you, but there may be other liquid core dice, and you can see there's obviously a bunch of other dice we're going to go over here in just a little bit. Try to keep this a little bit different from what we've done in the past, unless there's a really good deal that persists. Okay, this is something we've seen in the past that I think is really cool. It's $23. This is from the Frog God store. It is essentially a D20, but it's a game like a roulette wheel. So as you can see, we have a couple different options here. It says 2 methods of use. You can kind of use it like a fidget spinner like that, like hold it and spin the outside, or you can use it like a traditional roulette wheel. And I think do we have a video? Yeah, here's a video. I can hear it. I don't know if you guys can hear it, but I don't think it really matters. It gets the point across showing what the dice are. And you can get them in obviously different die types as well. This one is the D20 is the one that I'm showing here. I think I might actually pick one of these up. I think it'd be fun if you're going to do like a casino or some sort of like that kind of a thing in your D&D game, then like to have the rolls that happen in there are done in the roulette wheel. All right. These have been around for a while. I'm sure you've seen these. These are sort of these are from CZYY. You'll see that name pop up quite a bit here on this. These ones here are $31, and they are essentially, it comes in almost like a reloaded chamber, like a cylinder, like you would have for a revolver. You can see the dice are around the same size as a D20, a little bit taller. And then inside the cylinder, when you open it up, you have your D4, D6, D8, D10, D20, D12, and your percentile. So this is one version that we've seen different color versions of in the past, but again, for $31. But I thought this was very interesting. I'd never seen one in a magazine style before. We only have seen them, at least in my opinion, in a cylinder, like we just saw for a revolver. This is basically in a magazine style. Similar kind of concept for the dice, as you can see here. But, for those of us who prefer more of an inline semi-automatic as opposed to a traditional revolver, this is also a really cool option. And these are also a lot cheaper. These are $18 for these sets, which, as you can see, they come in a variety of different colors, even titanium for that rainbow look. But the prices will vary based on the colorway you choose. But I had never seen this particular kind of set before. All right. We have, again, this is another sort of spinning die spinner. Again, they basically functions like a fidget spinner. You can grab it and just spin it. You also could put it down on the table and spin it. But, if you're going to have like a fidget at the table of some kind, why not have it be functional for your game? And as you can see, it says roll in hand, roll on table, as I just showed you there. And then obviously you have the little sword there to point to the die roll, and you can see it has multiple rings, right? 20 around the outside, then it's got the D10 and the percentile kind of in the middle, and then I think it's the other side of it is D12, D6, D8, D4, and then these also come in a variety of different color. I like the green one personally, and then obviously we have like a titanium kind of rainbow color as well. Only $15 for these from Haztech. Cheese dice. I thought these were just silly because they kind of look like Swiss cheese. So we have a full set here. These are $11 again from our friends over at CZYY. I can't tell if these are silicone or not. My guess is they are, but that would make a little bit more sense if they bounce a little bit more. But these might also be like plastic or resin. So it says perfect for a rat-themed swarm keeper druid. Now call them Willard and roll cheese dice. Again, if you've seen Willard, that makes a lot of sense. But yeah, or if you're a cheese mancer wizard or something along those lines. I don't know. I just thought these were really silly. I had not seen these before. Get these for your favorite cheese lover. And at $11.99, they're really about the same price as a standard set of 7 dice. Well, let's see. Okay, these are very cool. I have actually a set of these. I got these for my boys. They're this sort of like Tesseract cube die. And you can see, if you look at this, you see we have a D8 along the top. We have a D4 on this side. This is a D12 on this side. So you have the different faces are the different sides of the die, right? D6, D8, D10, D4, D20, D12, right? So those are your different sides. And this also functions, you could see how the hand is right here. You could take it in your fingers like that and spin it because they're very, very loose on the bearings there. So like they're really, really well defined. Spin it like that and kind of hold it, and you can turn it over and you can feel it sort of moving as like a fidget spinner. You could also do what we talked about with the other one where you place it flat on the table and spin it on the table, as you can see here, right? They're showing you could just spin a single panel, you could spin the whole cube, or you could just set it on the table and spin it. A couple of different options there for fidgets. This is coming in at $20 for this sort of silver gunmetal design, but you can see they have a variety of different color options for you here. I really, really like these things. They're definitely a cool like statement piece to have at the table. Now, how functional are they? I don't know. Again, it functions as a heavier, more sturdy fidget spinner, but if you really need to die in a pinch, it'll definitely work. This is another kind of take on that. Again, something from our friends over at CZYY. I had not seen this style either, which obviously they have like a very like wizardy Doctor Strange looking type here with this. showcasing that it's essentially what you saw from the cube, but with rotating kind of dials on the side here. And you can see there's the indicator there, and you kind of spin the top. And again, they're talking about here using it as a fidget spinner. There's also a style B, which is more like tire treads. Something, again, I had not seen before, but very interesting, just unique options. And again, some people collect dice and weird die, like rolling mechanics. Like, these are just a neat little extra one to have, and I might pick these up just to have in a collection because they kind of look cool on a shelf. All right, these dice I do have personally. These are from our friends over at Lynx. They had sent them over to me a while back. They are potion dice. So for 20 bucks, you get a bunch of different sets. You get basically the base healing, greater healing, superior healing, and supreme healing. And they give you these little sort of, as you can see, little cards that tell you what the healing is for each, as well as these little tokens to keep kind of at your table to remember how many potions you may have of the given type. And then again, they're color coordinated. So for regular potion, it's yellow, greater, it's orange. What is it? Superior is red and supreme is purple. So you know if you need to heal from one of those potions, grab the associated amount of dice of that color and then throw them. And they're all kind of custom little potion bottle shaped D4s. These are something really nice. They come in this nice little box that you can see here. I really, really like these. All right. We have, again, if you're a fan of 3D printed dragons, which seems to be all the rage at any fair anywhere, these ones, not only do you get a 3D printed dragon egg, inside the dragon egg is a random set of 7 dice. So this is a 4-pack, so you're going to get 4 individual 3D printed dragon dice. They look like they're kind of a twist off. I've seen these where they come with a 3D printed dragon inside. Instead of the dragon, these come with dice. And you can obviously use them to store any kind of thing you want, and it looks like they are at random. And we could see here, right, like this one has, these are nicer looking die sets that come with these. So you just kind of, for 15 bucks, you're going to get one of these kind of unique color tone dice inside one of the unique dragon eggs. These can make great things for like a gift bag, stocking stuffer, if you're doing a birthday party and it's dragon themed or D&D themed or whatever, this could be a fun little thing to add in there as well. All right, this was, again, another interesting take on the fidget spinner die. This one kind of reminds me almost of like a shuriken or something. I'm not even entirely sure how this one works. I just thought it was really cool looking. So it's another one here for 20 bucks. All right, so moving on, we have the Game Master's Book of Traps, Puzzles, and Dungeons. This one here has a contribution from 3 Black Halflings and Jasmine Ballar. This is in the Game Master's Book of series. I've written on these, Bob Worldbuilder, a bunch of folks, obviously, as we just mentioned, 3 Black Halflings, Jasmine Ballar. A bunch of folks. This is a punishing collection of bone-crunching contraptions, brain-teasing riddles, and stamina testing encounter locations for 5th edition, plus 3 one-shot adventures. This is currently on a lightning deal. It is 70% claimed as of me recording this. It is $11. This is definitely worth picking up for $11 for you to use at your table, for you to give to a dungeon master. Definitely worth it. All right, continuing on with books, we have 55% off down to $9. Again, a 9% claimed lightning deal. Here is the Game Master's Deck of Boons and Banes by Ginny D. 40 game-changing, character-shifting cards and companion book for 5th edition Dungeons & Dragons. Again, continuing on the Game Master's theme of, this is a paperback kind of here, but again, it is only $10. What else do we have? Punch-ins and Flagons. This is a D&D cocktail book. It is only $10. It is normally $30, so this is down pretty significantly. If you want to look at a bunch of different D&D themed cocktails, whether to play and make at your table when you're going to sit down to play D&D, or maybe just for yourself for the holidays. Again, if you have a cocktail enjoyer in your life and they also happen to enjoy Dungeons & Dragons, this feels like a pretty solid pickup. Okay, this is a big one. I'm going to tell you right now, if you like dragons and you like Dungeons & Dragons, go buy this book. This is the quintessential dragon lore book for 5th edition Dungeons and Dragons. It is not an official, it's an official D&D product. It does not contain like stat blocks and things. It has a very reminiscent of the ology books of old, like the Dragonology, Egyptology, all those kind of books. Those, but improved, and actually is more like the entire lore section of the 3rd edition Draconomicon. I actually have a copy of it right here. It is absolutely phenomenal, and this is a reminder for me to do a full review on this book. It is absolutely worth your pickup. We've got gem dragons in here. We've got dragon gods. It's definitely worth it. It normally retails for $40 down to $24. This is also a pretty good, it's not too like techie as far as like the read goes. You can see it's at 4.8 stars. This is definitely a great book for kids too. If you have your kids, you want to get them into D&D. It also is a beautiful art book as well. Tons of art in it, so it could just make something good to keep on your coffee table. All right, continuing on, $8, $8 for the Game Master's Book of Random Encounters. Again, this one is 500 plus customizable maps, tables, and story hooks to create 5th edition RPG adventures on demand. Again, $8. This is also a lightning deal, and it's a hardcover book, folks. $8 is ridiculous for that price. Normally $22. It is 55% claimed as of me ranking this video, so I'll have, again, links in the video description if you'd like to pick one up for yourself. All right, from our friends over at Arknight, these are templates, right? We have a Dungeons & Dragons spell effect AoE templates here. So, again, if you play in person, obviously if you play online, maybe your virtual tabletop has means of generating templates or something like that. But if not, and you do play in person, these are huge. Not only do we have things like, as you can see, summons up in the corner here, giant elf, wolf, or giant ape rather, wolf, black bear, owl. We have things down here like a 30-foot by 5-foot line that shows a dragonborn breath weapon. We have a 15-foot fire cone for things like dragon breath weapon or burning hands. Right, there's a brown bear. Here's an inspiration tracker. Here's thunder wave. Here's fireball, cone of cold, a variety of different sized templates here. Now, I believe these all are for 2014 D&D, but most of those AoEs remained the same. These normally run for $64. These are down to $42. Arknight makes quality, little templates and overlays, so definitely worth checking out. If that's not your style, though, our friends over again at CZYY have a more affordable option of these for 24 markers. They, as you can see here, we have a variety. They don't seem to have as much information on the outside of them, whereas if you were to look at the Arknight ones, they do kind of tell you what uses this radius. Storm Sphere, Fireball, 20-foot 5e radius. So, again, more generally applicable, whereas I was looking at these, you can kind of tell, like, this is the Cone of Cold, and it might even say it at the top. But either way, you have a variety of different options, and really pick the one that fits your style. Do you prefer the ones that look like this or the other ones? These ones are slightly more affordable at $23.99, but either way. Moving on, we have flight bases. Again, if you play in person, having a series of flight bases is a great idea because the amount of times that I've played in person and someone takes to the sky, some monster flies up, and then you have no way of displaying at the table that increase in elevation. You can do that here. And that's actually what these little gradated, like graduated numbers on the side are for. So as you can see here, they're however many feet up. You can go ahead and mark it off 66 feet up or whatever you might want to do, or 30 feet up, 35 feet. And then obviously you can use that to elevate your creatures to show how high they are in the game. And you get 2 of these for $11.99. Again, another thing, these are my go-to condition rings, as these from Lynx. They have a variety. These are hard, kind of like, they're more like I guess they're silicone or they're like a plastic, but they are bendable and kind of squishy, but they reform back pretty easily. You're going to get 96 different rings in these. They all come in a variety of different colors, but we have pretty much all the things you're going to need for in D&D. Blessed, blinded, charmed, all the conditions, concentrating, hastened, grappled, hunter's marked. We even have extra ones at the end here, physical effect and magical effect for things that may not be covered. You get these all for $30. You get 4 of each in this nice box that keeps them all together, so it's nice and easy to keep track of. I have 2 sets that I keep at my house whenever I'm running games, so that way if I never need more, I can easily kind of layer these on, as you can see here, over the bottom of a mini, and that way I always know what's what. All right, moving on, we have, again, from CZYY, this is sort of a base Dungeon Master kit. This is a foldable battle map with DM screen. You can see the battle map. It also has some stickers down here. Looks like a set of dice and 2 dry erase markers. A DM screen, game tokens, which, oh, these are tokens, actually, like pop-out pawn tokens. Dice set, 2 markers, 2-sided wet and dry erase terrain. So maybe I think one is wet erase, one is dry erase, and it's the ultimate D&D starter set, they say. It also comes with some maps as well. So we have, let's see, game tokens, box lid, the outside, as you can see, is that, and box lid 2 is that. We have 5e inserts for the DM screen, covering all the super common things you'd have. The markers with race. We have a double-sided foldable battle map. We have the dice set, and then add-on scenery pieces. Again, if you're just getting started with Dungeons & Dragons, especially if you're going to be doing in-person, this is a really nice, affordable starter set for $28. You get the benefit of the DM screen if that's something you want to use, but you also get some dice, tokens, inserts for your DM screen, as well as a couple of good maps. Definitely worth the price if you're looking to get started. If you want a little bit more of a statement piece when it comes to your Dungeon Master screen, the TTRPG Go store has this really nice looking dragon one, right? So 4 embossed panels, that's 37 inches wide, and they support an 8.5 by 11 piece of paper on the back side. So it says it's a little bit taller here, and you can see it's dry erase ready because they have these sleeves where you can slip your inserts into. We've gone ahead and prepared manuals for the standard 5e and Pathfinder, which will get you into the game right away. Okay, so they're actually going to give you, so here's like conditions, right? Bleed, blinded. This looks like this might be nauseated. This is Pathfinder, but either way, you have these little inserts. It actually has a nice little kind of briefcase-like case to slip inside. And it has that cool dragon look on the outside. Now, $40 is a little bit much. If you wanted to go something a little bit cheaper, you obviously could go with this one. But if you're just looking for a DM screen to kind of give you some presence at the table, this might be it. And again, it's nice that it comes with the pre-prepped sort of inserts there for you. Again, if you're looking for just the maps from CZYY for $15, you can get basically everything that came inside that DM's kit minus the dice and the DM screen, but for only $15 if you're just looking for battle maps. Again, that are wet erase or dry erase. All right, same thing. CZYY has for $31 32 reusable maps in a book like this. So you can see you can just take the book and just fold it open on your table, and it has a variety of different maps from desert, islands, snow, a blank map, castle, forest, a ship, etc. And it looks like it says here, you can see, here's our regular notebook size. It's a little bit oversized, and you can see it here at the table here. And then I think it also has, scenery decals that are peel and stick to go on that as well for $31. All right. These are no longer on Prime Deal Day sale, so we're going to remove those. How about that? All right, if you have a young adventurer around and you want to get them into D&D, or at least understand the lore of D&D and a little bit about it, with maybe not actually getting a chance to sit down and play it, but also have good kind of books for, kids that are around the 2nd to 5th grade age to read through to get familiarized with the world of Dungeons & Dragons, the Young Adventurers Collection is definitely one of the best. My kids have these, and you have monsters and creatures, warriors and weapons, dungeons and tombs, and wizards and spells. This normally runs about $35. It's over 50% off, down to $16. Definitely worth picking up. You can see it's very well reviewed at 4.8 stars and over 4,000 reviews here on Amazon. Definitely worth picking up if you have kids, or if you just want to, it actually has some good information in it just in general for Dungeons and Dragons. Maybe even if you don't have kids, but you have a friend that you want to get into D&D and they're just like, what is D&D about? You could just hand them one of these books to kind of flip through and get an understanding before you actually sit down and maybe build a character with them. Continuing on with the Young Adventurers series, there's the Monsters and Creatures Compendium here. $8, folks, for a hardcover book. down from $25. It is $8.50. Absolutely worth picking up. These deals are insane on some of these. You'd be wild not to pick up hardcover books for $8. All right. Then we have these silly pencils here from, again, CZYY. These are Choose Your Weapon. These are pencils that, as you can see, have little quotes on them, but they have, as the pencils are segmented to kind of be hexagonal, they have numbers on them, so you can roll the pencil across the table as an impromptu D6 if need be. So you roll the pencil to utilize its dice function during a game. We have 2 roll for initiative, 2 just keep rolling, 2 choose your weapon, 2 you can certainly try, 2 how do you want to do this, and 2 don't worry, I have a plan. Again, so a set of 12 silver foil stamped pencils. Again, maybe a nice little stocking stuffer, extra little gift there for someone you know. All right, Dungeons and Dragons Build and Explore Adventure Puzzle. This is a 1,000-piece puzzle here that covers, again, I don't think I really need to explain much about a puzzle, but $17 on a little bit of a sale here for a D&D puzzle. Looks like there are some other things from a Spin Master. Oh, okay, so Spin Master make this. I see, looks like their dice box here is on sale, and then there's obviously some other Magic the Gathering things. There's some dice here as well. All right, moving on. I always love to put these on there because you know what? If you're a fan of D&D and you just don't want to get more products for the table, well, maybe you want to treat yourself to a nice D20 ice cube to go with that Quest's End whiskey that you went and picked up for $15. All right, this I thought was really cool too. This is like D&D adjacent, but this is a wax seal kit. So again, for those of you who don't know, if or are unaware, you usually end up getting, is this everything you get with this? This is, I think you're just getting the stamps. So you're going to get this kind of wooden handle here with the different tips for it. You'll get the D20, the caduceus, the sort of dragon, I guess, and the potion. And what this will do is, obviously, if you get a little, melting wax, you can obviously go ahead and put a stamp on whether you want to, stamp a letter to give to your players, or you want to do something like stamp a scroll or what have you. We used these recently for my youngest's birthday. He wanted a wizard themed, or really a Theodore the Orange themed birthday. And we had one of the activities was making those. If you've seen people make them, the little potion bottles that have like the mica powder and the D20 in it, and you turn it over so you can see what you roll. You shake it up and roll it like that. To seal off the top of those, we bought probably this exact kit and use the stamp to kind of close off the top of the little die rolling potion bottle. By the way, if you're curious about those and want to see me do a video on making one of those myself, let me know. We still have plenty of the stuff, but there are some nuances to it that you might get lost in the sauce on if you don't know. So let me know. I can make a video, either a full long form or a short form video about how to make one of those little rolling potion bottles. Okay, we have a D&D Dice Advent Calendar for 2025. This is 24 days. It looks like it has a variety of things here, right? We have, looks like maybe socks, couple of necklaces, dice bags, dice, pencils, again, similar to the other ones there. And then my go-to and my favorite thing, D&D stickers. These things are a huge win. Everybody loves the D&D stickers because they're all a variety of different aspects and you never really know what you're going to get. So you go ahead and get yourself one of these advent calendars. I think we have a couple of advent calendars, actually. Yep, here's another one. This one looks like it comes with, little keychains. It has one of these 3D printed sort of sword dice holders, as well as a tube of dice. Weapon model, 2-color dice, transparent tube, sword-shaped storage box. They're using the storage box to open it. I guess kind of defeats the purpose of opening an advent calendar that way. But either way, for $17. Is this the last one? Okay, no, this is just a D&D notebook. Obviously, if you're going to be playing in person or even online, having yourself a good notebook. I personally cannot type out notes when I'm playing D&D online or in person. Like, even if I have my laptop in front of me, it doesn't translate for me personally in my brain to type notes on the computer. I need to be tactically writing it down. So having a dedicated notebook to do so, I think helps. And this is, again, from our friends over at Lynx for $20 here. We have this cool dragon-themed notebook that's obviously lined here. And there's a couple of different options out there. There's the Dragon Bronze, Phoenix Gold, and so on. So get yourself a notebook for keeping track of things. All right, this is just a big set of dice, right? Set of 42 polyhedral dice, and it looks for D&D. And again, it says with colorful drawstring bags and 2 dice trays. So you're going to get, like, obviously here are the dice bags, here are the dice sets, and then you get 2 rolling trays. I put this on here because for $15, you don't often see things that come with rolling trays. So it looks like you're going to get, as it shows here, 6 sets of dice, each with a dice bag, and then 2 of these kind of fold up snap corner dice trays. Again, I normally see these with the dice bags for around this price, but never with 2 dice trays. So I thought that was, an interesting take on that for 15 bucks. All right, this is just a little table decoration here, one of these kind of light up portals here. It's got 8 different LED modes, and you can obviously, if you want to add a little bit to your table there, we have all the different color options. This is only 20 bucks. Again, change off the colors to make it match whatever the situation you're looking for. And actually, this is the first time I've seen something like this from CZYY, like a little sort of terrain piece, like a unique one. I kind of like it. All right. We have, all right, from the friends over at Monster. Monster makes really interesting products for Dungeons and Dragons. They make all of the sort of like bulk unpainted minis, and they make some really interesting terrain pieces. But this is for 22 bucks, just a spell tracker, right? We've got our level of spells, and we've got, it says max and current. So you've got track the spells on the left side and the current number you have on the right side. And then obviously cantrips, that's kind of, you could throw that away because it's the total number of cantrips you have. But we also have a number up here for your attack roll and your save DC. So that's actually not a bad idea because that way, again, if you're playing in person and maybe you're chewing through your character sheet because you keep erasing and adjusting. Obviously, if you're playing online, this probably won't be too necessary. But for some people, having a means of tracking things like this definitely helps. And I've seen this at the table where sometimes people need a more physical reminder to connect with what's happening imagination-wise. All right, this is a enhanced D&D binder. So if you're going to be playing in person, you can see that this has an area to put your character sheet underneath a sort of dry erase protective sheet so you can write and make adjustments. Those are always great if you're doing like adjusting your hit points a lot. You can go ahead and do that on top of the sheet, but it's, obviously on top of the plastic. Underneath, it's got or on the other side, it's got a tray, like a pencil case, a tray for rolling dice, an area where you could throw additional character sheets, maybe even a whole D&D book. And on the underside of where the character sheet is, we've got kind of foamed out storage where if you'd like to store minis or extra dice, spell cards, coins, and things, it does look like it does appear. If you take all of that foam out, you can store at least one D&D book inside there. Maybe that's more your speed. It is currently $63 on Prime Deal. There is also a coupon here to clip to get it down to $60. Normally, these retail for around $100, but there are ones if you prefer different colors. This one happens to have dragon scale on the outside, or a bunch of these all have dragon scale. This one is just the standard. The cheapest one here is just standard black with no dragon scaling. All right, next up, these cute little dice tray stackers. They're probably used for something else, but you can see that each individual tray can store at least a set of 6 dice, and you can stack these on top of each other to store at least 4 sets of dice that way. And that's actually really great for people who have a lot of dice. If you go to conventions maybe and you play at conventions or a local game store and you end up supplying dice to the players, normally mine are just thrown in my backpack, maybe in the dice bag. It's actually kind of nice because you can take them all out and like show them like, okay, here are the dice I have available. So people can actually see them as opposed to digging around in a dice bag. Because unless you have each set in a separate dice bag, you're going to be digging around trying to find that full set. And this, I think, is definitely a nice, concise way to do it. And again, only 10 bucks or 11 bucks. All right, these are book tabs. You can see they have a variety of options for the Monster Manual 2024, Tasha's Cauldron, Xanathar, Player's Handbook 2024, Dungeon Master 2024, as well as the both 2014 versions. These, we've covered book tabs in the past. These are a different brand that I'm unfamiliar with, but they do also come with blank tabs as well. And again, Peel match the page number. Oh, and these ones actually kind of clamp over. So a lot of the book tabs that I've covered in the past, you kind of just stick them on one side of the page, like you just, and then it's kind of it's sticking like this and it kind of flaps up. These are kind of nice because they clamp, so they'll probably have better staying power. And it's only $16. Some of these are actually cheaper if you were to go like Tasha's Cauldron or Xanathar. So if you're looking to tab out your books, if you like doing this, I used to do this myself with Post-it notes, so these book tabs kind of have been a lifesaver for me. All right, we have another option here. This is just a gift tumbler, right? Sarcasm +5. And then it looks like it also comes with a set of stickers over here, I believe. Or maybe it doesn't. It just shows the stickers in the corner. So I was assuming that it came with stickers, but either way, cute little tumbler here. Let's see, Greek gift for D&D lovers. Sarcasm 20-ounce tumbler. Premium double wall vacuum sealed. Is it dishwasher and microwave? It's not very microwave safe. It's metal. I don't see anywhere saying if it's dishwasher safe. Well, I'll just tell you my philosophy. If it's not dishwasher safe, don't get it, because I don't want to hand wash anything. I feel like it's just giving somebody responsibility. All right, for $23 here, we have a dice tray storage tower. I'd never seen this design either. This is something new. It kind of folds up into this little box, almost looks like a deck box for Magic the Gathering. But then you open it up, and it has the options to store multiple drawers of dice, a little tray at the top here, and then there's a tiny little dice tower that it rolls out into here. And there you take the trays out. 3-in-1 dice tray, dice tower, dice box, and then obviously, again, they have them here using this with Magic the Gathering, but you just fold it up, and then you have a little self-contained for all of your dice. It comes in a variety of colors: blue, green, purple, gray, etc. for $23. All right, if you are a belly button ring person, or I think this is belly button ring. Yeah, here's a sweet titanium looking belly button ring. Again, I'm not a piercing guy, so I don't really know if this is a good deal, but I thought I would put it out there. Here's it actually on somebody. It's actually very small, but either way, it is stainless steel, and it does have 4.0, 4 stars on 82 reviews. But, every time I see something interesting when I do these, I always like to try to call it out. All right, this is again from CZYY. This is a leather pouch with coins. This is situational at best, right? Depending on how you handle things in your games. You might use these for tokens for different things. Maybe just for, aesthetics at the table. Some people may actually use coins to represent something in their game, whether tokens or otherwise. But for $15, you're getting this cool leather dragon dice bag and the coins. This is a resin dice box. So what you're going to be getting here is the molds, the sword mold that you see there for $12. The mold's already present. We've seen a bunch of these over the years from Let's Resin. This one's got 4.4 stars out of 600 reviews. So you're going to get the silicone mold. Then you would have to go out of your way to find the resin that you want to pour. But obviously, you can come up with different color combinations and things and then make a cool set. Here's obviously like this has inclusions in it. This has 2 tiers, right? The top and the bottom. They did this, the lid and everything is different designs. Again, different options here. And you can go ahead and make some of these, and then you can obviously give those out as gifts, because that's a handmade gift now that you've hand poured them in a resin dice holder, which is pretty cool. Next up is a dice roller and storage. These are exceptionally good, as you can see here, for metal dice because it is a thick leather. So it has this sort of zipper pouch at the back where you can put your dice in. My experience on these, you can usually fit about 2 full sets of dice inside here. And then it wraps around like this to look like a scroll. And then you unsnap it and then unfurl it. And then that's how you get your dice tray. So you can maybe roll your metal dice without dinging up somebody's table. For $12 too is a pretty good deal. And you have, I've never actually seen the red or the blue before. So it's cool to see some color options as well. We have a Mimic dice box here. Again, also only $8. It looks like this might come fully assembled. It looks like this is probably laser cut wood here. But yeah, wooden dice box with green teeth and eyes. We also have this one that's a little bit lighter colored here as well.
But $8. Well, actually, only this particular one here is $8. So if you want to get a cool looking dice box made out of wood, I mean, honestly, the amount of effort it took to paint and cut this, it probably is about worth it. Like, that's probably $8 right there. And last but not least is a magnifier lamp arm for those of us out here painting minis in D&D. Obviously, it comes with a variety of different lighting settings, as you can see here, and it's on a arm with a magnifier, and the light obviously is kind of like ring light style underneath, as you can see from this image. So you're going to be illuminating right where you need to work. And then here we can see somebody working on soldering some circuit boards, but that could easily just be you working and painting miniatures or maybe adding inclusions to those resin dice molds that we covered. So, yeah, Prime Day is going on for, again, if we were to go here and check out Prime Big Deals, this is going on for the rest of, well, I guess probably by the time you're seeing this, the entirety of today. There's a ton of awesome options out there for a variety of different things. So keep an eye out for things that may be um, on your list or things you use regularly, especially if you can find a way to get stuff that you were going to buy regularly at a discounted price. Definitely worth checking out. But what I ended up doing to find most of mine is I just came here and I typed in D&D. I'm just going to see if there's any of those D&D stickers on sale. Now, see, we have a couple of different things here, but these are the stickers. These are usually what I put on these, but none of them are on sale. But again, if you take a look, you can see here's some wall decor. Here's cryptid stickers. Here's some signs. There's a lot of cool inclusion dice. This one has like a cool blue dragon inside it. Again, only for $23. So I obviously didn't cover everything that's Dungeons and Dragons and TTRPG related that's available on Prime, but you can go ahead and take a look through and see what I have. Again, I'll have links in the video description for everything you just saw. And that way you can pick some up for yourself. And I don't know if you can see the bar at the top. There's all sorts of extra commission deals going on because of Prime Day. So if you pick up anything from those, you'll definitely be helping yourself get a cool gift for someone or something for yourself, as well as helping the channel. Lastly, before I go, I wanted to say I really like doing these videos and like searching out what kind of like random products are out there. I've been thinking about possibly making this an ongoing series that I do monthly where I just be like, hey, here's a couple of cool products I saw about, T&D and TTRPG stuff on the internet, make it like a monthly series. Obviously, in like July and October and November, that'll obviously be geared towards the big sales and Prime Day, Prime Deal Days, and Black Friday. But, throughout the rest of the year, just make little videos covering whether that's, hey, I found these cool things, whether it's on Amazon or on some other site, just to kind of showcase some cool D&D products that are out there, TTRPG products that are out there. And then that way, you don't have to wait for a couple times a year to hear a video from me about the neat stuff that I've seen. And then also potentially give you options for gifts for folks all throughout the year, not just towards, the certain holidays. So let me know your thoughts and opinions in the comments down below. See you all next time.